All through October, we're talking about Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I'm talking about different people who've been affected by it, been affected by it themselves, through their family, through friends, or just want to know more about it, bit curious about it. Emma's with me now on the phone. Emma, hello.
Hello there.
You're a bit out of breath because Sunday you did the marathon.
I did indeed, Rob. Yes, I did. Yep, I completed 26.2 miles on the virtual London Marathon for the charity Keeping Abreast.
How did you actually do the run then?
Well, my dad found a route, the 26.2 mile route, and then I managed to get sort of my family out there to cheer me on and that, and I sort of managed to jog for the first 7.5 miles and then power walked the rest, and I think I completed in about 6 hours 45 minutes.
Oh my goodness me, hats off to you. You must have trained quite a bit for it, or not?
No.
No?
I found out 4 weeks before the marathon that I'd be running it, so not much time to train at all, but yeah, managed to, a bit of determination got me through it.
Did it actually help you being a virtual one, not being in the whole crowds there? Because I should imagine there's not so much pressure on you.
That's right, yeah. I mean, it was a proper family event, Rob. You know, my dad was able to cycle with me the whole way. My sister's partner, he jogged it as well. My family were there with tambourines and bells, cheering on and signs at different points. So one of my daughters managed to bike 10 miles of it, and my mum completed the last 3 miles with me. So it was amazing, and it was a proper family event, and yeah, it was lovely to take part in it. It's definitely special moment.
So does your house stink of Vicks and deep heat and embrocation oil and everything at the moment for your aching bones, or you coped all right?
I don't feel too bad. It's sort of standing up and sitting down and going upstairs, and I'm managing to moan quite quietly.
Now, you mentioned that you did it for the charity Keeping Abreast. Tell me a bit about this, because I know about it, and we're going to be featuring Keeping Abreast all through the month on Felixstowe Radio. So what's your involvement with it?
Okay, so I'd actually never heard of the charity before until my mum mentioned that they were asking people to run the marathon for them. I sort of looked into the charity a bit more, and it's a charity that helps women who have been through breast cancer, or they have a genetic gene in the family which increases the risk of breast cancer, and they support people with mastectomies and the reconstruction side process. So my sister has been watching Zoom meetings that they've been doing, and the amount of support that my mum and my sister have received from the charity so far is just amazing, because our family carry a faulty gene called PALB2. This is a gene we've never ever heard of before, Rob, until my nanny got told she had it back in 2019 in January.
So she got told it, and then suddenly you realise that it's you can all have it. So are you affected by it yourself?
So I'm very lucky, Rob. I don't carry the gene at all, but my mum does carry the gene, and my sister does as well. So personally, I'm not affected, but emotionally I am affected. It's a horrible thing to find out that your mum and your sister have an increased risk of breast cancer, and this unknown journey that they're on of scary regular mammograms and scans to keep an eye on any changes. So yeah, it's a worrying time for the family, Rob.
It's the big bogeyman, because he's there and you don't know when he's going to jump out at you, or if he's going to jump out at you, so it could be any time. So someone who's carrying it can't really relax, can they? They can't really say, oh, I'm all right at the moment.
That's right. It's like you say, but it can happen at any time. A scan could come, and there could be something found, or a regular check could find something for any of my family. So yeah, it is. I'm worried all the time. So I just think how my mum and my sister feel.
How did your mum find out? I mean, how did they do the test? Is it a new thing? I mean, I don't know anything about this. That's why I want to learn. Was it a new thing? Did your mum get tested for it?
That's right, yeah. So mum had noticed the amount of breast cancer that my nanny side of the family have. So mum kind of pushed for this genetic testing, and they sort of agreed that, they could take part in this ongoing study. So basically it's a blood test that happens, and that's how my mum found out that she had it. And then me and my sister both had to go for genetic counselling, so where they talk about the gene, the risks of, the higher risk you have of breast cancer, the different options you can take. And then we both agreed then to have our blood test. It takes about 4 weeks for you to get your results. So, but yeah, it's all genetic testing. It was done at Adam Brooks Hospital in Cambridge.
So an agonising wait, but when you got even when you've got the results, I mean, you can say, right, I know what I'm dealing with, but you don't, do you? It's still not clear whether you.
No.
Even if you're negative or positive, it's still not clear how it's going to affect you, and you've got that hanging over you all the time. This is where the charity comes into play, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. So my mum got in contact with one of the ladies who's a volunteer for Keeping Abreast, and my mum and my sister met up with this lady and her friend, and they sort of explained what the charity can offer, the help that they can get given, and the reassurance, really, they're not alone. There is this help available, and there is this support available at any time of day. So it's nice for them to have someone who has gone through the process as well, to have some reassurance, really.
And what's the situation with your mum at the moment?
Okay, so my mum and my sister will be going through double mastectomies, both of them. So, yeah, it's just a waiting game to find out when they can both have surgery. And then it's obviously the reconstructive side as well that happens. So, yeah, it's going to be a wait, to find out when it's going to happen, and then the healing process from it all as well.
What would a person like me say to someone like your mum? I mean, if I met your mum now, I'd want to talk about it, but I wouldn't know where to start. I just don't know what to do. It's very awkward for the people around as well, isn't it? I mean, your mum's carrying that burden. I want to say so. Yeah. I want to go and give her a hug or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's no comfort.
No, to be honest, though, I think raising awareness is one of the most important things with this. We had never heard of this gene until my nanny had found that she had it in January 2019. So raising awareness is the massive thing. And, if anybody knows anyone who's got a gene, go and talk to them about it. Find out the way to move forward, check in, push in for this genetic testing. Don't be afraid to ask, because yes, there is that worry, but we'd much rather raise this awareness so other people, it could save lives, Rob, at the end of the day, and I think that's the most important thing here.
Because this can be detected even before any lumps come, can't they? Because everybody knows about checking and having a good old grope and feeling for lumps here and there, but this can be detected before. So if you know you've got family history of it, this is where you need to start taking action now.
That's right, yeah. So my mum and my sister both have an increased risk of it, so that's why they're going for double mastectomies. So their risk is much more lowered.
Now, Keeping Abreast, they do a lot of counselling, and when we were talking last time, there's a lot going on Zoom, which seemed to be a big negative step, but it's actually made it easier and better, hasn't it, now, with the Zoom meetings?
Oh, yes, it's magical, really, isn't it? Yeah, my sister's used the Zoom meetings a lot, and my mum has as well, just, to still keep in contact, and communicate about how people are feeling, in the whole COVID and lockdown situation. I think it was a breath of fresh air to still be able to communicate and talk to people and get that reassurance throughout.
And when you're connected with people like in Zoom meetings, normally if you go to a meeting, you've got to think, what am I going to say, what am I going to ask? Here, you can do it regularly. You can say, right, I need to ask so-and-so. I mean, I need to talk about reconstruction. I need to talk about what I'm going to wear. What's my body going to look like? What's my partner going to say? These are the things that the women, and men, because it comes to men as well, these are the things that women in particular need to talk about, because it's a worrying time, and everybody's got their pride, haven't they?
Exactly. Yeah, it's and it's a massive step as well if you're to have a mastectomy, and breasts are very important to women, and it is your self-confidence. So to know that you can get support with reconstruction, or if you choose not to have that, there are other options available. So yeah, it's good to have that communication and talking about the options that are available to women, and like you say, men as well.
And men need to know what women are going through as well, because men have it easy in life, don't they? Don't we just have it so easy? I mean, we do. We're brought up by our mums. We normally find a woman, and they look after us, and then we're mothered all the way through. And all we have to do biologically is have a shave. A woman has to go through a lot of trouble.
Yeah, it's hard work being a woman, Rob.
Well, give my love to you and your family. Thanks for kicking us off on this, and keep in touch. And anything new that's happening, and I mean, anything we can do, just let us know.
That's brilliant. Thanks ever so much, Rob.